Turn that down. Bring this one. Nope. Yeah. Okay. All right, where am I? Oh, it's happening. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome. Hi. I'm just trying to get my stupid things to load here so that I don't have to do it during the show, but I was doing too late. So hello, it's Tuesday. It's almost Merca, right? So, got the monkey butt. She's been freaking out because there's been explosions all over the neighborhood everywhere, and she doesn't know what to do with herself. Tomorrow's a charity baseball game. I'll see if I can set it up so that we can try live streaming it again. I have no idea if it worked last year. And then 4th of July. So we're just gonna do like an hour-long show tonight. I don't know how much energy I have. I gotta wake up early to get the field all ready for baseball. We got the field ready today. We raked it and watered it and chalked it and got everything ready and locked the field up. And then some 14-year-old traveling team decided to hop the fence and have their practice and messed up our field again. So you gotta do it all over again tomorrow morning. So, anyway, what's happening? I spent too much time reading news today, so I'm actually a little out of touch of anything that went on today. It looked like there's some whales who jumped in on a whole bunch of $30 calls on the 19th for GameStop. It could be happening again. I have no idea if it's Keith Gill or somebody else is jumping in there, but there's some trading going on. Implied volatility is definitely crushed right now. So rock and roll, right? All right. So let's see here. Where am I? What's going on? I should do After Dark, right? Boom. Case Chapman, 4th of July or 4th of July? The second one. The second 4th of July. Oh crap, I didn't mean that. Shit. This button. I'm gonna turn that one off, not the other one on. I'm so tired, folks. Okay, so I got my Merca on. I've been Mercing all day. You know, celebrating the final 4th of July ever. I don't know. We'll see. Bruno Bars, yo Houston, check out this video, GameStop and World Trade Center by Charlie's Vids on YouTube. What? Check out this video, GameStop and World Trade Center 7 by Charlie's Vids on YouTube. What? What? Charlie's Vids. Oops, that did not. I don't see anything that looks like that. I see nothing coming up that looks anything like that. I put in GameStop, World Trade Center 7, Charlie's Vids. See nothing. So I guess I'll have to search for that later? I don't know. Well, I'll have to look for it later, Bruno Bars. Because I'm not seeing it right now, and otherwise I gotta spend a lot of time searching. So, did I have any news, Monkey? Oh, you're just shaking. You're shaking like bacon, man. She's terrified right now from explosions in the distance. Okay, so, well, anyways, Kyle Garibaldi's here first. BJKO31. So, how fucked are we about SCOTUS immunity decision? Very. Case Chapman. Damn it. Kyle Garibaldi, options question. Let's say I have two options. At a strike price of $15, and the stock is worth $10 currently. If I sell to close when the stock is $20, do I sell each share for $20, or is it sold at $15? If you sell to close, you are selling the options contract for whatever the premium of the options contract is, which is going to be probably $500 above what you paid for it, or so. Thereabouts. So if you paid, let's say, $100 for it, you could probably sell it for $600, unless there's a lot of implied volatility in it. But yeah, that's what you'd sell it for. So you're selling it for the difference above that strike price. Ace Ventura, Houston, first time commenter here. Can you please explain the universe? Yes, we explain the universe to you all the time. The universe is where you are. It bursts into existence either by grand design or pure chaos. It is forever expanding. It's full of matter. It's full of energy. It's full of light. Some of that matter ends up being too much matter, and it collapses under its own gravity and forms stars. Sometimes those stars are a little too big, and they go kaboom. And they send matter out into the universe, and that matter mixes with more matter, and then it becomes too much and collapses into stars. And some of those stars are too big, and they go kaboom. And it's been doing this for 13, 14 billion years. And as a result, anything heavier than helium was made inside these stars. They go kaboom. That means you and me, all the carbon in our body, the metals in our products, all that stuff came from the big kabooms. And we are nothing but stardust. And eventually, the universe will wear itself out expanding, and 30, 40, 50 billion years from now, entropy will wear out, and it'll be a cold, cold, cold day in the universe. But you know what? You don't have to worry about that. The atoms in your body, they may have to worry about that, but they're not sentient, so until they get assembled the right way and become sentient again. But yada yada yada. Worm food. Okay. Case Chapman, do you think cost popping off has anything to do with the Roaring Kitty flag and a microphone emoji? Maybe that's the next one. Maybe he is buying the entire basket. I did not look at costs today. What did cost do? Oh, it's doing all right. Oh, she's going for my feet. Yeah, I know it's some booms out there. It's so terrifying. It's so terrifying having booms. Well, I mean, it's gone from 537 up to 550 in the last week. Bottomed out at 521 about 2 weeks ago. So it's doing all right. It's not as high as it was a month ago, though. And not as high as it was September of last year. It was at $8. So, but costs will move. If the basket moves, cost moves. And they're very small, very, very, very small float. So, someone like DFV could buy up the entire float like that. And I don't think you have to register as a holder because the insiders have hundreds of millions of shares or something. So that's interesting. That'd be an interesting move if he's buying up costs. What's the volume? Volume. Give me 6.64 million was the volume today. That is about 4 million more than there are shares available in the float. Wait, that's a different... Oops, that's a different stock entirely. That's the wrong stock. That's Cosmos stock. Cos Corporation, that's what we're looking for. Oh my gosh. All right, I was looking at the wrong costs. Forgive me. Let's go to... Come on, Chrome. Work. No, work. 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 There we go. Everything is just open for crying out loud. Jeez, my knees. Okay, sorry. Yes, there was a pop. I was looking at the wrong one. So we went from 459 after hours up to 560. So volume 78,000, average volume 892,000. So it had a really low volume day today. So average volume is 900,000, and this volume today was only 78. That's a very, very, very small volume. So this thing moved on 0 volume. No volume, no volume, no volume, no volume, no volume. Not applicable. So maybe these aren't recording any volume for this sucker. So 570. Weird. Very weird. Not reporting any volume on that sucker. Roaring Kitty buying up all of costs. That would be interesting. Very interesting. Float is tiny. Float is teeny tiny. But there is no options on this sucker. So you can't gamma ramp it. I've not thought about that. So they can't gamma it, but you can buy up the entire thing. And costs, let's do costs. Morningstar costs. Oops, nope, not Kiss. Cost stock. Morningstar. Morningstar. Cost Corporation, 3/4 results. Not Cosmos. I want this? That's what I want. Okay. Let's look at ownership. So we got a few funds, Vanguard, such and such, got thousands, right? You know, it doesn't take, it's like a whole bunch of Vanguard different funds on here. 2,000 there. Let's look at institutions. Institutions, couple 100,000. Also Vanguards and BlackRocks and Hoosier and what's it's. I like that there's like North Star Investment Management has $300 in costs. It's up. They're up 60 shares from when they had no shares. Wells Fargo bought 1 share recently. So there you go. There's where your volume's coming from. From Wells Fargo going out and spending $4 on a share. And it grew at 2.5%, their holdings. JP Morgan Chase has 11 whole shares. That's 4 more than they used to have. So they've got some real power players here. Okay. So, interesting. So I think total shares outstanding, costs, total shares outstanding. Cost is 9 million shares. Number says 9 million shares, okay. And costs float. Okay, public float's 5.22 million now. Okay, so the public float's actually grown. So for about $25 million, maybe $30 million, you can buy up the entire company essentially. So why doesn't somebody? That's interesting. It's a very, 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 very small number of shares, very small float. Only 9 million total shares, and 5 million of which are the float. It's a weird, curious, weird thing, man. I don't know. 944. Oh, sorry. Steve Milne, Houston. As a fellow tall boy, I'm 6'9". You're much taller than I am. How tall is the shortest you've dated? My girlfriend's 5'2". Any hilarious stories? From dating a short person? Probably shortest I dated was like, I think she was maybe 5'1". Freakishly strong though. She was a D1 swimmer, and she could whoop most of you in an arm wrestling contest. She was like that big and just like a gorilla. So yeah, people tried messing with her because she was tiny, and they found out the hard way that she was like a chimpanzee. But particular stories about someone being short, I mean, my stepmom's really small. My stepmom's like 4'10", and she fit inside my niece and nephew's car seats pretty easily. That was funny. So, yeah. Thing about dating short girls is like the one who's 5'1". Like most people like put their arms around the waist. She would put her arm around my leg, and then that's where it felt weird. Like she just like grabbed my leg like it was a little buddy, and that's how she like held on to people. So I don't know. But 6'9", you're up there. You are way up there. I work with a guy currently who's 6'10", and he's lanky. He's a big, tall, skinny dude, and I don't know. I'm not used to like having to look up at people, and it's weird. Like Todd McCulloch, who used to be the center for the 76ers. He lives on the island, and he comes in. He's 7'2", and every time I see him, shake his hand. It's just like I feel like a child. Like just like this mitt comes and shakes my hand, and just like, don't hurt me. Beefy boy. Rock Beige North. Rock Beige North. Radq approved to re-merge. What does this mean for shareholders? I don't know yet. I don't know if there's been a credit bid on the company for any null preservation or anything like that. Casey Chapman, I think, posted a thing that showed that shareholders might not be coming out of this one because it might just be the company just taking ownership of it and privatizing it, if that's the case. So I don't know. I don't know if Radq's coming out of that at all. The borrow rate on the shares is insane, though. The borrow rate on the shares is like 1,000% or something. So maybe people are just like, maybe I can short as much as I possibly can, and the shares will disappear forever. I don't know, there, Rock. I haven't really been. I didn't invest in Radq, so I didn't pay too much close attention to that. Oh, hey, Fat Cat! I didn't even notice you came in here. How's it going? Oh, you just appeared suddenly. I was not paying attention at all. Citizen 54. Are the chances of Biden dropping out increasing by the day? Who is a good replacement? I really hope it's not Harris. That would be the end of us. Not liked at all. I'm hoping for Whitmer. It sounds like the party people are trying to get Michelle Obama, Gavin Newsom, or Whitmer. Those are like the three they're trying that if they could push it, would push it. There has been some talk I was reading that there's several states where the ballot's finalized, and Biden would be on the ballot regardless unless there's a health scare. He has to pull out due to a health scare, and then you could replace him on the ballot. But if you just at the convention go, nope, Biden's not our guy, there's like 3 or 4 states where he would still be on the ballot, and a vote for him would be a vote for him and not for the Democratic candidate. Now, depending on the states, the electors could change their minds in some of those states. Some of those states, they made laws that you can't, and there's fines for it and stuff. But I'd be curious to see what happens with the convention. The ruling has resulted in a postponement of Trump's sentencing hearing to sometime in September from next week, which is, I think, a bummer. But others are pointing out that if it gets moved to September and he's found in contempt as well as charged, the contempt could mean he could be in jail through the rest of the election. So that would be an interesting thing to have happen. So Trump pushing to have that postponed might backfire on him immensely, as the judge goes, okay, you're sentenced to 10 months in jail with 2 months of contempt, and after those 2 months you can be out on appeal, but not until then. So having him be removed from the public limelight for that time would be pretty crazy. Grape Knowles, Houston. Can you run me through your best case dream scenario of GME and BBYQ with a slight, almost imperceptible southern drawl? I think I pick which kind of southern drawl I want to do. Shall I do a Lindsey Graham? Well, big boy. So, I'm not into it at all. Dream case scenario is that Ryan Cohen and or GameStop and or IEP, Carl Icahn, as a group of buddies, they own the debt, or at least the dip and Philo on Bed Bath & Beyond. Bed Bath & Beyond has all sorts of clawbacks that are happening. They're suing the shit out of everybody, getting all their money back. Anyone who wronged them, they're going to owe hundreds of millions of dollars or possibly billions of dollars. And once all the little pump and dump cases and things get tossed, which they will eventually, the bat trade case should go away. I guess people come forward and go, we want to make a credit bid. And with that credit bid, they want to take control of the assets. And those assets are mostly nulls at this point. There's a few IP things and whatnot. But if there's fraud involved, this is an outside chance, everything in the bankruptcy could be reversed entirely. So they would get all their IP back, which would be crazy. I'm not sure exactly the process of how that would work because companies like Overstock have made Bed Bath & Beyond their personality now. So I don't know how you go, hey guys, you spent cajillions of dollars and all this marketing and changing your company name and everything, we get it back. So there might be some sort of deal worked out and cross ownership and licensing and whatnot. But regardless, the ideal situation is a credit bid. Credit bid says, we will bid what we're owed on the company, and we'll take control of the company. And we will use those net operating losses to our benefit. And if we're going to do that, all those legacy shareholders, you get new shares in this company. And if the company is to be Bed Bath & Beyond, or it's going to merge into something else or whatever, you would get shares in that entity. And if the fraud cases result in a really high enough chunk of change, it could also mean tens or $100 per share along with equity. If that's the case, it's on like Donkey Kong, and the payment in lieu are going to be in the tens or hundreds of billions of dollars. And they're fucked. And we're stinking rolling rich. So that's the dream scenario. Equity, maybe some cash to the equity. Stock price goes like I can't even see it from here. It's so far up there. And if that happens, then you're set, I'm set, half the people in this chat are set, and we are partying at Schlong Island, followed by a party at the Eye of Africa, and Dick's halfway in out there in the Ozarks. So we're just gonna hop from one spot to another. Francis Oregomba. Do you think there's a chance Jimmy jumping tomorrow or Friday, the value of my 30 strike for July 19th has been halved? Yeah, IV Crush is happening. The stock price is kind of, and that's what's happening on that. I would love for there to be a jump. I don't know if there's going to be a jump unless we get some serious in the money options buying, or like, stock price is at $23.80, we get 100,000 at $24. That would do it. 100,000 options, $24. People go, brr. I guess we have to start buying shares to hedge for this, and the price would climb, pushing more of those options in the money, and then we would be gamma ramping again. So I don't know if DFE's quite doing it yet, or if he's spending money on something like cost, which is a really good idea. Stephanie L., happy almost 4th. Think if Dems take the White House and Senate in November, can we impeach the corrupt justices? Yes. I think we definitely can. There is a chance, because Trump got convicted of a felony. There are states like Washington State where Trump will not be on the ballot. Period. He won't be on the ballot at all. There's no way for him to get on the ballot. It's against the law for him to be on the ballot in Washington. So I don't know what the Republican Party is going to have as a candidate there, if any. And if you're not on the ballot, that means people who are diehard Republicans might not turn out because my vote's not going to count. Which means down ballot Republican candidates are going to feel the pain of that. That means in swing districts for House, Republicans probably won't win because there's going to be turnout. Even in strong Republican districts, there might not be much turnout for the candidates. They might have really, really, really low voter turnout for folks on the right side of the spectrum, and you may see wins in previously strong-held districts for Democrats, if that's the case. So, I don't see it's outside possibility if in Washington State, of the 10 or 11 House districts we have, if like 9 of them suddenly go to Democrats. It may be the case in other states that have similar laws. I don't know which other states have laws about felons being on the ballot, but that could be that's right there is enough difference for House majority. So it's gonna make for weird outcomes, and it's just gonna be stress city into them. Oh, I forgot. Attaining Oneness sent me their address, so I've got the gelatinous thing Attaining Oneness has. It does feel like there's balloon-ish-esque here. So let's do the unboxing of Attaining Oneness thing before I forget, so I can ship these things out later this week. And what are you? What is this? Oh! It's cleaning goo. It's a goo ball thing, and you like stick it on your keyboard, and it pulls all the little hairs and things out of your keyboard. You see the keyboard thing there? It's cleaning goo. It is gelatinous. Does that smell like food? Smells interesting, doesn't it? It is a resealable bag, but yes, Attaining Oneness, you get sticky keyboard goo. It's all in Chinese, so I have no idea if it's toxic or what. Oh, no. Gua gum, glycine, polyvinyl alcohol, meryparabin, and propylparaben. So those are the ingredients. So it's goo. It's 95% biodegradable goo at that. So you can see it. It's hard to see with the light on there, but you throw the goo on things and it sticks to it, and you pull goo up, and it's called Super Europe Clean. So it's where things are clean in Europe. These are very random 50-cent wish items we have here. Attaining Oneness is like, I donated that much to get 50 cents in cleaning goo. Well, luck of the draw, man. Luck of the draw. Oh, are you okay? Do you need a treat to make yourself happy? Is that what you need? Because of the boom booms? Shall we do a baked bacon one? Yeah? Okay, let's do a baked bacon one. Make the monkey butt happy. There you go. Can I get it? Come on, can I come get it? There you go. Just like shaking still. Because the boom booms, it's boom boom season, monkey. Where all the anxieties of a dog come to roost. All right. What was I doing? Where are we? What's happening? Boris Raspy, you said happy birthday. What's July's PT if we don't mow us? Oh, price target if we don't mow us. And also, do you own IEP or AMC? I recently bought some. I'm dumping it if it goes $50 or close to it. Well, I don't have any AMC anymore. I sold that a couple years ago. It's gone. I don't have any IEP. I've been waiting to buy IEP because I was like, if something pops and I get some chunk of change, I'll put it in some dividend stocks. But I've not bought any IEP yet. Seems to me like January IEP calls would be pretty brilliant. Because I think ICANN's got something coming along. But I don't have much ammo. I've got my current GME calls, which are about half of what they were worth. I thought something was going to happen this week. It's not happening yet. So I may have to reset and go to attack something else. Chad Williams, what do you think about costs? There's another cost one. Runs on the basket runs, has no options chain. Family owns half of it, only 9 million shares, 40 million market cap. Ran to $130 in the sneeze. Is this DFV's next target? And if he buys 9 million shares of it, what happens next? I think it'd be interesting if like, so it's 5 million float, right? So for $30 million, you can buy 5 million of it. What if someone like DFV, who's got the cash on hand, purchases more than the float. They put an order for 9 million shares, for 10 million shares, for 20 million shares, for more shares than there is company. What happens then? I mean, he'd file 13G. You'd have to file as an insider, and he'd be like, I own 200% of your company, right? What would the market maker excuse be at that point if someone like him buys more than exists of the entire company? Seems like a worthwhile experiment to me, right? You buy as much as you humanly can. You register all of it. You send 20 million shares to go register. What happens? What is the response of A, the brokers? B, like, what if you do it through multiple brokers? What if you buy 20 million shares of a company that only has 9 million shares, only a 5 million float, but you do the entire float in 5 different brokers, right? And then all 5 of those brokers at the same time, you DRS. That'd be that type of. If I were a billionaire, that'd be the type of thing I would do. I would just mess with the market in that way, just to be like, look, this system's broken. You guys have broken it, and be better. I've been thinking, Chad. But yes, price target on that. Oh yeah, Boris Strats was asking me, I forgot to answer the price target for GameStop. I think the floor is higher every time. Like, if it pops and comes back down, and there's shenanigans because they dilute more. I think the floor right now, after another pop, probably $25, $30, somewhere around there. I think the floor is just going to go a step up each time. And that's what we're going to get. Stephanie, didn't SCOTUS rule this March that states can't kick Trump off presidential ballot? Bummer. They made a ruling about, what was it about? It was a specific state couldn't kick him off. But other states who saw him as an insurrectionist, I think, were attempting to kick him off. But Washington has a law about felons, and since he's got a felony conviction, he can't get on. Now, if you served your time, so if they give him, 10 hours of community service and a week of parole, right? And he's able to do his 10 hours of community service. He does his week of parole. He is no longer under sentencing. He could apply and file in Washington to have his name put on the ballot, because there's one of my reps. When she was younger, she got in trouble. She'd gotten hooked on opiates, got arrested, got a felony. While she was in jail, cleaned herself up. She was young too. She was 18, whatever. Did college, got her bachelor's degree, and then she got her law degree. She had to petition the state bar to allow her to become a lawyer to practice, because she had that criminal record. And then she, 15 years later, was like, I want to run for office, and the state was like, cannot. You have a felony. And so she went through all the different levels of the state courts, got the state Supreme Court. The state Supreme Court was like, okay, you have your records since your arrest has been clean. You've shown that you have paid your dues and shown shame and everything for your crimes. So let you run. So she ran, and she cleaned up. She won her seat quite handily, and is a very big on criminal reform and prison reform, and because she's been through that stuff. I suppose Trump's campaign, if Trump somehow is done serving his time and shows remorse, could get on to the Washington state ballot again. But if he shows zero remorse and has not finished his time yet, it ain't gonna happen. Washington state's not gonna be like roll over for him. Most of the state thinks he's a complete clown. And so he's not going to be on Washington, which means, that's going to be probably 2 million votes that he won't be getting towards a popular vote. So he lost the popular vote by 7 million last time. So that means he'll probably lose it by 9 million at least, if not more. Because I don't see people who didn't vote for him last time around suddenly be like, yeah, I'm going to vote for him. There's not that much swing in there. So... yeah. Cat. Do. Donnell, Houston, hope you, Monkey Butt, Chip Batman are doing well. Well, myself and Chip Batman are doing well. Monkey's having an existential crisis on the floor behind me. I can feel my chair just vibrating with her fear because little kids keep lighting off fireworks 10 miles away from here. So, yeah. I haven't gotten to the start of the show yet, so I'm still 40 minutes behind. Belgian Whales here. Oats with Goats is here. G-Font is here. Legs and Productions, Houston. Is this ISDA thing going to help our cause or be a nothing burger? I'm wondering, because the ISDA basically is like, we are done with these swaps. That's basically what they said. Like, this swap crap is too much. We can't follow any of it. No, stop it. And we're going to close all these swaps. You better close these swaps. And if you don't close the swaps, you're either going to face default or bankruptcy. Pick one. That's it. So they seem pretty fed up with it. The thing about the ISDA is the ISDA isn't just the United States. The ISDA is a giant international concern, and other countries. I mean, you can read about Thailand, India, Korea. Like, they are going after short sales hard. Not just naked short sales, but shorts in general. India, so it looks like they're going to basically rip Hindenburg's dick off. They're just like, you're going to provide all this information. If you don't, prison time for all of you. Granted, Hindenburg is not based in India, but you don't want to have major democracy of 1.4 billion people wanting your head on a pike. So they're going to be facing some really big short and distort allegations. If it comes to something criminal, they might be able to put out arrest warrant for insiders at Hindenburg. In the United States, depending on what type of deal we have in India, may have to send them to India for trial. So, yeah, it's going to mean big business. So the ISDA, I'm sure the American people in the ISDA are like, don't do that, and the rest of the members of the ISDA are like, fuck you, dude. We're gonna sort this crap out, because they know we've got $600 trillion in derivatives liabilities. These are mortgage-backed securities, shorted stocks, commercial mortgage-backed securities, credit default swaps. Like, there is so much, even things I've never even heard of. When someone explains it to me, I'm like, we're doing stuff on that? Have you ever seen, what was that movie? Crap. It's got John Lovitz in it. It's about the race from Las Vegas to someplace in, John Lovitz movie Race. Rat Race. Yes, Rat Race. That's a pretty funny movie. So in that movie, like these random people at this Vegas casino are chosen, like, hey, whoever gets to this post office box and, somewhere in New Mexico, it's like Truth and Consequences in Mexico or something. Whoever gets there first gets $1 gajillion. And so these groups head out. They're racing to this place in New Mexico, those road trips, like random families and stuff. And there's all these degenerate gamblers from all these high rollers from like Japan and Saudi Arabia and England and stuff. And they're in the penthouse suite and they're waiting for updates. And they're so bored that they are basically like taking bets on anything. And you can see these bets going on in the background while there's like conversations. And there's, house staff dangling from curtain rods because they're taking bets on how long particular house staff members can dangle from the curtain rods, and money's changing hands. And this is how I picture a lot of these derivatives traders and these swap people, is that they are so, like, they will figure out how to monetize anything, absolutely anything. Like they'll take bets on the weather, and figure out ways to like turn those into swaps, and buying futures on linseed oil prices 2,000 years from now. Like, they're just all this stuff is packed into these swaps, and they're all over the place. And I think the ISDA is like, we can't do this anymore. Like, we're gonna make you cut cold turkey, and that's it. So I am very curious as to what type of effect it's going to have on the United States itself. Will people pay attention to it? Will they, or won't they? I have no idea. Legacy, I we'll have to see what happens when it happens. Will other nations pay attention to it, or will they all go to, non-member countries and then try to play their hand there? G-Font, remember to make Show 500 a big event. Oh, that's in 16 shows, isn't it? I didn't even think about that yet. We have a nice palindrome today, 484. Show 500. So we do one Friday. It's 485. And then we got 15 more after that. It's about 3 weeks away? Huh. That'll be about the time that I think I'll have Susan Trimbath on. We still haven't finalized the date. But she could come on right around Show 500. That'd be a pretty good way to celebrate. Right? Right, little fat man. Thanks for reminding me. John Hooley. Oh, crap, John Hooley. You just vanished. John Hooley. Where did you go? John Hooley. I lost you. There you are. Hey, Houston, I've been comparing us to ANF, one of the heaviest weighted XRT stocks. They follow us, of course, but it looks like there might be an exploitable delay before they pop after days we rip. Thoughts? Ooh, I don't know anything about ANF. I've never looked at them in my entire life. Abercrombie and Fitch? So what we got with Abercrombie and Fitch? Let's see what they've been doing. Oh, we got a big jump in the last week from what? 170 up to 185. So that's from last week to this week. We have a $15 jump. There was high as 192 June 12th, and they were low on the 4th at 169. So they are having quite a bit of volatility. Like this thing's swinging 20, 30 bucks at a time, but it's an explosion since, well, back in January, they're at 92 and their recent peaks were in the 190s. So they've had a lot of climbing and, So their peak May 29th. So that was 12 days after our, June 17th when they diluted. And then it dropped down, and then on June 4th, and then again it popped the 12th, it peaked again at 192. So that's 5 days after. And then it dropped down, and it peaked again. I don't know, I've never worn Abercrombie & Fitch in my life. They seem like hipster, like yuppie hipster clothes. Not quite hipster clothes, like real hipster clothes. Real hipsters go to the thrift store and stuff. But like the rich kids who don't quite know how to be hipster, but want to be fashionable, and are slaves to, I don't know, Calvin Klein type things. That's always seemed to be the Abercrombie & Fitch crowd. So I'm not too familiar with what they have other than the, sex appeal of children, I think is kind of their their base. High school girls. BJK031. Houston, what companies could Jimmy possibly be doing one of those share for merger things? Chewy? Bed Bath? Costs? If you're going to create a holdings company, you want to have an insurance company or a reinsurance company. So WAG, part of Chewy, does the pet insurance stuff. So that gets your foot in the door. Yeah. I'd be curious. We should make a list. Make a list of any possible whispers of companies that could partner with GameStop or merge with them in a merger acquisition. Jape says, I put my July 19th limit orders in for calls, see if they fill tomorrow. Sometimes for me, if I put the order in, that means it's going to rip and it's never going to hit my price. Be like, well, missed that one. So that's a good way to make sure it's going to rip tomorrow. Scorpion, 95. Any news MMTLP or BBY? No news MMTLP that I've heard of. BBY? Any news there? I don't think any major filings have gone through. There's been a whole bunch of like closing of claims and stuff, but that doesn't get us to the final win position. Nah, nothing, not much in the moment. Jape, also, what's your take on XRT? It's shorted to 300 or 400%, and I don't think ETF should be allowed to do that. That's my take. And that they're using it to short the hell out of different stocks inside that basket, and it's affecting everything else. Turkish. Happy birthday, Houston. Seriously, my thumbs are gone. Meowster is gone. BBY shares are gone. Where's Equity Lebowski? How much more do I have to wait? You have to just rub those nubs together and hope they start a fire to keep you warm, I think. David Brooks, I tried to donate on last charity, but I couldn't get the donate to work. Any ideas on how to get this to work? Contact YouTube and say, hey, I'm trying to donate to a charity and my debit card won't go through. I had problems trying to donate to my own shows before, and they're just like, no, we're just going to cancel your card. But you pay me via that card. How come you don't recognize it? You send my monthly YouTube check to me via that card. I don't know what's going on. So, yeah, I've had problems on my own. I had to call and get things sorted out. Kid Kadian. Happy birthday, soon. Hello, Kid Kadian. First Day Productions. I'm not first. I'm at work, daydreaming about Carl Icahn's revenge against the shorts. Who attacked him? That's one thing to do. Alex Bishop, is gravity different on certain parts of the globe? Yes. There are denser pieces of rock that have more gravity than other places on Earth. Those are gravitational anomalies. Gravity, it's not much different. Not like all of a sudden you're going to feel like you're on the surface of Jupiter. It's micro newtons of force. So with sensitive equipment you can measure that stuff, but the human being isn't going to notice one way or the other. Fragical 9/11 and Jimmy connected. That's the vid. Talking about the GameStop World Trade Center thing. Yeah, I'm gonna be like that on that one. Even without seeing the video, that's what I say. Belgian whale, you can't stop intros once they start. I stopped it. Britta Bars, can send it to you on Twitter. Please do. Rose Moon's here. However, Chuck Norris can answer a missed call, but he can't fix Houston's intro issues. No one can. Javier, thoughts on the Trump Epstein flight log coded as DOE 174? I don't know about that necessary code, but it did come out that there are dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of paper missed call messages and appointment messages from Trump calling Epstein about massages and scheduling massages. So why is a billionaire calling another billionaire to schedule a massage when one of those billionaires owns a spa at his own resorts? Yeah, and considering that the entire grooming process that Epstein would do was he would hire a girl, to give them a massage, and then they would molest or rape them, and then pay them money to shut up or find someone else to bring them in. So the massages were always underage children doing those massages. So if Trump was, calling several times a week trying to schedule massages with Jeffrey Epstein, I don't think Jeffrey Epstein was the one doing it. That's what I think. I think that is Trump getting kids to massage him. And Epstein, facilitating that because Epstein ran a gigantic blackmail scheme. That's what I think. So, yeah. Okay. Dragon Viking. Wait. Could a Labor Party in the good old US of A be a possibility? Would you run for office? You have my vote. I may run for office again someday. I don't know. I've run for office twice. Once was a purely defensive run for office. A really terrible person I knew who I had witnessed him sexually assault a child, and we got him off of that person. Was at a high school party, and a grown-ass man showed up and started to force himself onto a sleeping 15-year-old girl. And so we got him out of there, and then 2 years later, I was 20 years old, 2 years later, and he was running for office unopposed, and I was like, absolutely not. So I threw my hat in the ring. But at the same time, another man threw his hat in the ring who also saw that dude and was like, no. So I ended up dropping out and endorsing the other candidate, so boom. And then there was an open seat for the state house. The state senator retired. One of the state reps moved up to the state senate, and then her seat was open, and so there was a selection process. I got third place. I threw my hat in the ring, got third place, but I didn't do all the wheeling and dealing ahead of time, like baking cakes for people and glad handing and doing all that stuff. I was kind of like, I'll run, and I went to the debate, and I'll be honest, I crushed the debate. I absolutely blew everybody in that room out of the water. It was a tiered vote from all the precinct committee officers, so they you first choice, second choice, third choice, and so on. And I got a whole bunch of second choices and third choices and didn't win. And the guy who won, he did a great job campaigning, and he made an excellent state rep as well. Now he's the new state senator. But people come up to me like, you did so well. I wish I could have voted for you. I'm like, you had like 4 chances to vote for me. Well, I promised, Drew I was going to vote for him. I'm like, it's a secret ballot. He won't know you weren't the one who voted for him. But it's all right. Drew Hansen is a stellar rep and an amazing state senator. And if you see like state senators pop up on the news from Washington, and not for being like members of the Nazi party, like those weirdos from Spokane that, were militia people and threatening religious war and stuff. If you see good news come out of Washington off of a bill, oftentimes it is Drew Hansen who beat me for the state house. He's the one who got Washington's net neutrality. He's the one who got Washington State to cover the tuition of in-state schooling. So if you are a state resident and you make below, I think it's $50,000 a year, at the University of Washington, at state community colleges, at Washington State, you don't pay tuition. So it's fantastic. So he's done lots of good work. So I don't mind losing to him at all, even though I did whoop him in the debate. I'll be honest. I crushed him. But I may run again someday. We'll see. I don't know. What's up, monkey? I know there's boom booms happening and you're freaking out. You're freaking out, man. Well, if we're going to go for 15 minutes longer, and then I can wrap you in a thunder coat, and maybe that will help. Will that help if I just wrap you up in a thunder coat? Andrew Stewart, Houston, burgers, dogs, ribs, or steaks? Well, yes, to all. I mean, a lot of times when I do a 2-hour show, a lot of times I will put ribs into the oven and be slow cooking them. And when I'm done with the show, they're ready to go. I do that quite a bit. Recently, sirloin's been on sale a lot, so I've just been buying that, and then I beat the hell out of it and tenderize it and grill it up outside. So Monkey's been getting lots of little steaks from there. But if I'm doing a barbecue, I just get burgers and dogs because they're easy to cook. They're right there. And if people bring steaks and stuff or chicken, I'll grill that as well. But 4th of July is burgers, black bean burgers, and dogs. And if anyone brings anything else, I'll cook it for them. But I supply all that. I supply all the fixins for the dogs and the burgers. And then people bring the potlucks. They bring the salads and the chips and the desserts and the bean dips and everything else, right? Right, monkey? Right? And I got a freezer chest. It's gonna make my life so much easier at the grill. Because before I had 25 Coleman coolers everywhere, and then I'd have a freezer space for all the burgers because I've got hundreds and hundreds of burgers, and it was just a nightmare. And now I've got this big giant freezer chest right next to the grill, and all the burgers and dogs and everything is inside there, and it's gonna be so wonderful. I'm so happy, monkey. Aren't you happy? Are you a happy dog? No, you're terrified right now, but it's okay. Oh, decarb 420. If the U.S. crashes because of MOAS, do you think Western economies will follow? Some of us have to figure out on conversion as well as tax. If the U.S. crashes, the entire planet crashes. That's just how markets work, because the United States is where everyone trades everything. It is the nexus of trade. That's to say that it's the only place where things trade, but it's the main place things trade. So, yeah, if the U.S. crashes, everything's going to crash as well. Now, what's been happening is the U.S. hasn't had as bad inflation as most other countries at the moment. Most countries around the world have actually had much worse inflation than the United States. Only a couple have beaten the U.S. There's usually a couple smaller countries. But Japan's toast. China looks like they're pretty toast right now. The commercial real estate market is toast globally, which means commercial mortgage-backed securities, etc. The housing market has slowed down so much. We have 9 months of new homes for sale that are not moving. We have more new homes for sale than any point since 2009, and it's 9 months of stock. And I can see it here. There's like some really fancy townhomes built not too far from me, and they're expensive because this is rich people land. And there's like one sold out of 16 of them, and they're sitting there. And this is what the real estate agents are doing, hoping somebody calls to buy a $1.5 million townhouse. But if you have $1.5 million, why the hell are you getting a townhouse? That's my thing. Like, if you're in a community, for $1.5 million, you can get a house like this. This is 7 bedrooms on 3 acres. You can get this for $1.5 million. Why would you spend that much on a townhouse and have to pay an HOA on top of that? That sucks. You may as well buy something like this. So, yeah. And like, they built a new house just up the street from me. It's okay. Looks kind of like we joked, it looks kind of like a church, like a modern, church. Sold for $2.something million. And I was like, but you can get a house of a similar size on the water and not on a busy road for $2 million. Why would you buy that? But someone wanted it, so they bought it. I'm losing the train of thought here. But yes, I think every economy is toast globally. And if you happen to have cash on hand at that time, you will get screaming deals everywhere you go. That's what I think is going to happen. Is the price of everything will drop because no one will have any money. And if you happen to have money at that time and you want to travel somewhere, it'll be cheap. You want to buy a house, it'll be cheap. You want to buy an office building, it'll be cheap. You want to buy a company, it'll be cheap. So the key is to have cash on hand when everything goes to shit. And that's exactly what Warren Buffett's been doing. They've got like $180 billion in cash on hand at the moment. They've been selling off pieces here and there. They've been consolidating their cash because they know it's going to go belly up. And when it does, they're going to buy up everything. And that's if you have the ability to do it, that's a smart way to do it. Andrew Stewart, do more people unsubscribe faster when you put Nazis in their place, or when the Euros here you talk about baseball? Let's see how many I lost this week. That's always a fun thing to see here. I wonder if I go to analytics, how many did I lose this week? YouTube Studio. Analytics. There we go. Hey, I gained 244 subscribers. Look at that. All right, subscriptions are up. Huh. Well, there you go. No. I lost 10 since 13. Lost 13 since yesterday. So 13 of them were like, no, unsubscribe. So 13 are gone, but I'm up 244 on the month. So there you go. How about that? So that's not too bad. 30 people who are like, I don't know what I got into on this. It's kind of ridiculous. Like I went from not making a single video ever to I made one video and it was seen like 40,000 times, and I went from no subscribers to 20,000 subscribers, and in 3 years I've gained 1,400 of them. That's how terrible I am at marketing. I don't market myself beyond being like, I'm doing a show in 20 minutes. That's about it. I'm sure people are cringing and wondering why the hell I don't market myself better, but it's like so much work. It's just, it is what it is. Okay. Ace Ventura, happy B-Day, Gurk. Is it Gherkin's birthday today? Happy birthday, Gherkin. Haven't been chatting in a long time. John Doe, I started investing in stocks, beef, vegetable, chicken. One day I hope to be a billionaire. Jason Blackwell is wishing he had won that good, right? Frank Gonzalez, Wolf has a large institution's interest over 100%. That Wolf, is that Petco? Petco Morning Star. Let's see what Morning Star has to say about Petco here. Okay, whoa. Price fell off cliff there. Ownership, boom. Come on, little thingy. You can do it. I'm going to try and pull those numbers out of somewhere. Where are those reportings coming from? Okay. So, it's just funds. We've got not quite 1% here. Okay, so that's what, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's top 20 get 7.38%. Institutions. Come on, institutions. Come on. You can do it. There we go. Oh, here we go. Got 21 in Canada Pension Plan. So yeah, we have 100.2% of the top 20. That's a lot. 53% CYC Capital Partners. So okay, so institutions have 100%. Funds have 7%. And then how big's the float? We'll float. Let's put shares in there so they don't give me like weird things. We'll stock. Okay. Petco. Company's float is measured by the number of available shares public. Okay, just give me this fucking float. Float, 77 million. Okay. So we have 273 million owned by these guys. The float's only 77 million. That's an insider, that's an insider. These are not insiders here. So we can remove about 200 million from that. So there's 73 million owned by the top 18 non-insiders here. And the funds another 20 million of those. So we're at 90 million of the 70 million float owned by just institutions and funds. That's like GameStop back in the day. 2021, you'd go to Morningstar and there was 150% ownership by institutions and funds of the entire stock that had a float of 60 million shares. And that's just crazy. Very crazy. Huh. Interesting there, Frank. That's something to look into. All right, we're going to do like 10 more minutes, and then Monkey Butt is going to need to get in her thunder coat. Corporate Walnut, what's a bigger mindfuck, space or time? Space time. Gotcha. Citizen 54, Whitmer, Obama 2024. Okay. Scott, greetings. Hope your evening is going well. What strikes and expiration were the big buys today on GME? What dollar amount? I believe a whole bunch at 30s is what I read earlier, but I have not looked at the options chain. So let's go back here and look at the options chain. Okay, I think there were 19s. What's happening with the weeklies? Weeklies, crap. It's past midnight on the East Coast. They won't give us the open interest on these things until morning. Gosh, dang it. We can see what the volume was anyway. Okay, so at 30 we had 8,000 contracts trade hands. So that looks like the big one. 6,000 at the high numbers because these things are on $12 each. So people are gambling. Again, folks, you may as well go for this 115 at $10 because it's cheaper than this one at 12. It's a lower strike price. Why are you not buying that one? Whatever. So it looks like, yeah, those were going, and somebody else mentioned August 16th as a whole bunch. Had a big volume today. And we see a couple thousand. 25, 30. A whole bunch. A lot of tickets. 6,000 lot tickets were trading hands for August. That's interesting. So, not quite the big 5,000 contract purchases we're looking for from someone like DFV on these. And I have no idea what the open interest is because I forget that Yahoo deletes that after midnight East Coast time. But I'm about to turn into pumpkin myself. Ace Ventura, I smoked one marijuana. Okay. What is... Oh, I have the wrong chat. I have top chat on, not live chat, so I'm probably missing chats here. I apologize. If I'm missing your chats, I'm so sorry, because I forgot to have the live chat on. Okay. Or was I? Okay, there we are. All right. Fair turn. Sanders is old, but his platform is where the Dems should lean. Right now is the time to grab the grassroots populace and drum up support. No way progressives will vote for Newsom. They might out of just like, it's not Trump, which is almost as successful a campaign as you could possibly run right now. He's like, look, he's not Trump. And people will be like, all right, I guess. But it'd be nice to have somebody people can get excited about. They can be like, yes, this is awesome. Because it'd be nice to have an actual platform get followed through. Not just be like middle of the road corporatism. It'd be nice to be like, hey, let's make society work for you. Right? Like, our options are status quo, which is kind of meh, or we're going to destroy everything. Those are your options right now. And you got a bunch of people who hate the government, think the government shouldn't exist, and will now run the government. You don't want that. That makes your life worse in the long run. It will not get better. People just don't realize how much of their life, their quality of life, is due to the purchasing power of the government. Building roads, building ports, building airports, educating children, giving us, weather satellites. Like, do you know how many people died in hurricanes before we knew hurricanes were coming? Because we could be in space looking down at the Earth and go, oh, there's a hurricane. Tens of thousands would die every time a hurricane hit the coast. People would be like, oh man, it is really hot today. The air is not moving at all. And then the next day, 200-mile-an-hour winds and a 30-foot storm surge killed everyone. That's how they knew a hurricane hit, was when that would happen. And so weather satellites alone have saved millions upon millions, probably hundreds of millions of lives planet-wide just in the last 50 years. And protected, shipping lanes and all that stuff. And no one else has the ability to do that because they're doing it not for profit, right? AccuWeather forecast isn't going to drop $10 billion on geostationary weather satellites because they're just not going to make $10 billion letting people know what the weather is. Instead, they get their reports from NOAA, right? The National Weather Service, and they just regurgitate it and pump it out there, and then they sell some ads, and that's how they make their money. They don't have to invest in the big satellites. GPS. Think about the market for GPS. Before, we had paper maps and confused people, and they couldn't fold things, and now you have your phone, you have your GPS in your car, you know where everything is at all times. Turn here, turn there, do that. Map reading has kind of become a terrible skill at this point, but it allows us to plot courses, figure out where our products are, logistics, is incredible. And that is all thanks to the government. The internet you're using was invented by the government as the ARPANET, and then was later, expanded and advanced and turned into the internet and basically given access to everybody who wanted access to it. That was Al Gore who did that. He was the one who wrote the bill. So when Al Gore says, I took the initiative in creating the internet, he's right. Before it was a closed government system, and he created the World Wide Web by deregulating the internet. But the internet would not exist. I would not be doing this show with you right now if the U.S. government had not invested in TCP/IP, the creation of TCP/IP. So that's where we are. Folks who have access to insurance. There you go. Insure your home, insure your car, insure your life, insure your health. That basically exists because the government creates a fair market for it and puts regulations on what can and can't be done, so they can't just screw you over. Because believe me, they try, even though health insurance is still quite terrible. You need to start a business. Your ability to get small business loans, government. You need to go to college, government, right? So like folks who seem to believe that they're these like self-reliant, rugged individualists, right? They're the most rugged. They don't need anyone's help. You're going to quickly discover that they had nothing but help along the way. They just didn't have the wherewithal to thank anybody. They had daddy either paid for college, bought their first home, gave them their first job, etc., or they people like was it Lauren Boebert? Lauren Boebert was a single mom on welfare. The only reason she didn't starve to death or become homeless was because the government had a safety net for her. And she wants to get rid of welfare. You're only where you are because of it. Clarence Thomas grew up on welfare. He grew up on welfare and was an affirmative action, advanced through affirmative action, got to this position in the government via the systems he's been seeking to destroy. He's one of those people pulling up the ladder behind him so no one else can enjoy what he has, because he wants to believe in his head that it was all him. But it wasn't. You had people along the way who literally helped you along. Well, no, so I did it myself. No one else had any help in this. And so I don't know. I think acknowledging the people who make your quality of life possible is really important. I mean, it's hokey, but that Thanksgiving thing, like let's go on the table and say one thing we're thankful for. You should do that every day. At least make a list in your head, like the folks who helped you, the folks who encouraged you, the folks who, lent you money in an emergency, who just helped you along, because it takes a community to do anything in this country. Do anything in this world, it takes a community. Unless you are out like making your own rock tools and building your own huts and hunting and fishing like a Stone Age person, you are not doing it on your own. You are not. And in fact, you got clean drinking water. Thank you, government. Right? In fact, you get clean air to breathe. Thank you, government. Because before, it was not breathable. You can look at pictures of New York in the 70s, and you would be like, if you took the weather in New York today, and you suddenly just put the weather in New York in the 70s, people would be coughing and choking all over the place, and heart attacks would be going through the roof. But no, we cleaned it up as best we could. And those corporations fought us tooth and nail. But you know what? You can see a blue sky in New York and on a clear day, and it's not brown. So good job, us. Way to go, us. Okay, enough ranting about that. We'll do another one, and then I do have to like turn off my eyes so I can throw a baseball tomorrow. Okay, talk to people about cost. Jiminy, as soon as you said gelatinous, I immediately guessed it was cleaning goo. Cleaning goo it was. Matt Lee speculating DFV pumping other unsuspecting distracting tickers to load Jimmy to the moon. And he very well could be right now. That little microphone, it could be in cost. That's a good point, everyone. Okay, let's see here. We get one more good one here, and then Houston's going to turn off his brain for the night. Okay, cost. Diane B. Houston, have you watched Richard Newton on YouTube regarding GME? I have. I've not watched him in the last couple of days, but I have watched him before. Matt Lee's here. Okay, one good question. Give me one good one here. It's not all the rehashing cost stuff, because that's all stuff I want to read later, because I'm not up to date on anything at the moment. It's all cost conversation. I just need one good question. One good question. Hopeful Pomelo 4488. What about the companies that are in the same strip malls as Bed Bath were in that are also XRT? Burl, Rost, TJ Maxx. I'm sure, because Bed Bath is a pretty good anchor tenant for a lot of strip malls. So I wouldn't doubt if businesses in some of those places have kind of dropped off where there is nobody. Think about that. Mostly to biz, Houston Wolf is a much bigger float and shares outstanding. Webull shows me as 310 million shares outstanding and a free float of 150 million. Okay. So that means these guys were, where were we? Wolf here. 20 million there. 273 million. So 293,500,000 shares are owned by 40 funds institutions. And that doesn't include anything beyond the top 20. So that means if shareholders have 20 million of those shares, then the entire thing is locked up. Whatever it is, that's pretty incredible to think about. That many shares are locked up, and everyone thinks they own them, but someone doesn't. Yeah. Okay. It's 11:20 and I'm hungry. The dog is shaking. I'm tired. I'll play a baseball game tomorrow. I'm going to try to live stream the baseball game if I can. I don't know if you guys will be seeing, if you saw anything last year. I have no idea what the internet connection was like. I sort of like turned it on and then went and played baseball. But I'll see you guys sometime this week, and enjoy your night. Have a happy 4th. If you're coming to 4th of July, woohoo! I got contacted by a few people, so they said they're coming. So there'll be some of you that are in this chat right now who might show up to 4th of July. I'll see you folks later, and enjoy your time and day and everything else, and we'll do the original After Dark now.